Hi guys, we're at the Shawiwan Group office today /home. We have installed 3 extra panels on this system a few days ago. Results are very good. You can see on the right side the new panels are on that side, 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. So I want to talk a little bit about how you do that if you want to do that, have more panels on an older system. The easiest, as we have done here, is to use the same brand and very similar wattage and amp. These are not exactly the same, but they are similar enough that it doesn't really matter. Only the production will increase. There's nothing else to consider. But if you, let's say, try to install something. Let's say you have an old system, 10-year-old system. You want to increase the capacity of the system. You install on a string. So let's say the top row is 1 string. Let's say you add panels there that are double the wattage, maybe because of higher amp. What's going to happen then? Well, you're actually not going to see much benefit. Well, you will see benefit, but not to the production of the spec of the new panels, because they will operate at the amp of the older panels. Okay, I'll say that again. Even if you add panels that are new that have a higher amp, they will operate at the lowest amp of the string. So you will see benefit, but not as much as the spec of the panel. This is assuming that we install the panels in what we call serial design, series. That's the most common. I'm not going to talk about parallel in this video because I want to keep it as simple as possible. Serial installation is the most common, so that's mostly what most people will encounter. Anyway, so if we summarize, if you want to add panels to an old system, you can do that. If you add panels that have a lot more power, they will work on the same amp as the rest of the old panels, and hence you will not see a maximum increase in power, but you will see some. So it does help. Now, what if you do it the other way? You have an old system and you install some panels that are even older and works on a lower amp. What happens then? Actually, that's the absolute worst scenario you can imagine, and you really have to avoid this scenario. Because let's say you add one panel that's not as good as all the other ones. All the other panels will drop down to the amp of the new panel, the new panel that has a lower amp. So then you could actually end up lowering the production even though you added a panel. So that's very important to understand. Always when you add panels, you have to add, or you should really avoid the lower quality panels compared to what's already on the string. So if you do that, you'll be okay. Now, there's also a recommendation to use same brands, and I certainly am of that philosophy that if you should add of the same brand, and that has to do with degeneration and stuff. Different brands have different characteristics of the panel, so it's just easier if you use the same brand and similar model. But you can also mix, just as long as you have that in mind in the back of your head, that it might actually change the output of the string over time because of different degradation and stuff like that. So yeah, so that was a little bit about how you can add panels. So I hope that helps.